What's
All
cracking,
right.
everybody? Hopefully, everyone has a lovely Friday. And if you're at Heroes Con, hopefully having a lovely weekend as well.
We are not at Heroes Con.
This is the non-Heroes Con party. This is what's happening.
Woo! Uh,
Woohoo! Yay!
we are heroes. We are heroes in our
That's
own
right.
way. We're just not
Sure.
cons.
Yeah, well, this could be our own little con. We're right here,
There we go.
internet
Comic.
con.
Exactly. I love it.
Very cool, lovely. It's very nice to meet you. Hello, Joshua. Hi.
Hi, I'm Joshua Rubin,
Hmm. Woo.
founder of Strangeland Comics, writer of Time Sensitive, and so
Yes.
happy to be on K-Pop Junkie. Am I on K-Pop Junkie or with K-Pop Junkie?
With, on, together, all over the
We
place.
are
Right?
K-Pop Junkie. We are all K-Pop Junkie.
That's right. That's right.
I love
I
it.
love that. I picked this day. This is the first name I've ever made online. I've never changed it. So
It goes
here we
back to
go.
like 12 or something.
Basically, yes, like
Wow,
30 some years ago. It's
that's
taking it.
hilarious.
I
My
love it. Has
my
nothing to do with comics.
my video game company is called Subverse, which
Okay.
goes back to when I was like 18, I think, like 18, 19. I was like, ooh, subversive verse, this is
Oh,
cool, I like this.
yes.
And somehow I got a business card, and it was such a cool business card that once I like had to like actually start putting myself out there as a company, I was like,
Yeah.
I have the business cards, I'll just stick with Subverse. And I have the website. And now, like 30 years later or whatever, like, I mean, I'm not that old, but
Yeah.
I have now finally rebranded myself for video games as Subverse Interactive, which is
Oh,
like, I was like, why
fancy.
call me so much cooler?
Love
But
that.
it's totally because, like, in creating this comic book company and creating Strangeland, like, I've been learning so much about building a business that I
Mhm.
never learned as a video game writer and consultant and director. Like, for some reason, like, that was always seat of my pants. Like, I was always just like stumbling from one incredible job to another. And now that I'm like actually like starting something from scratch and building it, I'm like, I need to be doing this in my video game career and like actually have like, I can have an
Yeah.
online presence and like this is a whole new thing for me, doing social media. Like, I've always been kind of dabbling at it, like lurking in the corners,
Oh, haha.
yeah,
Hee hee
exactly.
hee.
I was a reader, but now like actually like realizing like, oh, like I, as a writer, like I am my own IP and
Yeah,
my own, and like I need to create a brand. And the only way to do that is just be myself and be authentic and be out there.
that's all you can do. Listen, I tell people all the time, this not a pro stream. We're just here. We're having fun, getting to know people. That's what it's all about.
Cool.
I'm gonna drop some of the links in the chat here as well, so people can go check this out because we're streaming to multiple platforms. So that way, I wanted to go to all of the thingies
Sweet.
here. So the one right here that I have that says full info sign up right here. This is
Yeah.
going to go to your landing page where it has info about you, info about the book. There's a whole bunch of art. There's all kinds of stuff in there. So go check this out. You can also enter your email address in here and go sign up for the pre-launch link as well. So get you some of that action. Go get in
Sweet.
here.
Yeah.
Yes, very cool. Yeah,
So
very excited about that.
I'm very excited about the book, and you've read it and you
Yes,
liked it.
I did. I really liked it. I thought the story was really cool, was unique, and I also really liked the art style. I think the art fit with the story completely nicely. I did see the black and white, but I'm very curious to see what the colors are going to look like because from what I've seen, I think the colors are phenomenal.
Yeah.
So you got a good team meshing together, and I dig it. So
It's
very
amazing.
nice.
I lucked out for my first comic book, like, unbelievably.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been writing for 30 years, and I've done TV and movies and video games and live theater and I was a hip hop journalist for a while
Whoa.
back in the beginning. But this is my first comic, and like but it's like a story I've been wanting to tell for like 15 years and trying to find the right format for it. I was trying to sell it as a TV show first. It was set up,
Okay.
briefly at like
Yeah.
with Bad Robot, and then that didn't happen, and then And then it was a video game, and like I had a whole like, you know, really cool time travel mechanic, and hopefully that will come back after the is out there.
Hopefully.
Always thinking about like, how is this both, you know, interactive and, you know, linear, and wanting to tell those kinds of stories together. But really, like, when I really was like, this is a comic book, how do I make a comic book, and went into the whole self-education of, you know, like, you know, how do you write a comic book? How do you publish a comic book? Who, you know, do you go to studios? Do you do it yourself? And so, you know, the first thing was finding an artist. And that was a long process, because it really was like, I knew what I wanted. I didn't want someone who was the classic Marvel DC look, right? I wanted something where you felt the artist's hand in the page. You felt every conscious choice that was being made. And especially because this is sci-fi and time travel, it's heady and existential. I wanted art that was grounded, and you could really, you know, feel it. Yes. And so I was lucky enough to find Jorge Quill. And he is a Portuguese artist who just won the Amadora Award for Best European Artist for his work on the Great adaptation he did last year with Clover Press, which is amazing.
Oh, Clover Plus has got some good stuff happening. I think the Tyler Kirkham book is out right now with them in the campaign, but they had some really, they do some cool stuff. Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I can't believe I got him before the Amadora. I mean, I feel very lucky I got him on a time travel book, but the way that I got him was truly just by, I was like punching way above my weight, sending, you know, like query letters to artists that I could, you know, never get and never afford, probably once if I did. And then one of them, Felipe Andrade, was kind enough to write back, and he said, I'm busy for the next 8 years. But I know a guy who just got off a book and might be available. And, you know, we're like, you know, we're tight. Tell him I sent you. So the fact that I had that intro meant George took it seriously and read it. And he was like, yeah, if you can wait for me for 4 months, I'm in. And I was like, I can wait. I would rather this be good than fast.
Very cool. I think it worked out perfectly, because I think his art style just works so well with this book. Just, it's gorgeous. I love it. I love the black and whites, like I said, and I love the colorized version of it. So I think it's something really unique, and I love it.
Do you have some of it there? Do you want to put it up for people?
I do, yes. Let me go ahead and do it. I do want to say hey to two people that I see in chat real quick. From 4 p.m., we had GTK Comics popping in here. He was ready for this. Let's go. We also have Victor in here. What's up, Victor? Also another amazing artist that we got going on here. But I love that. I love when past guests and creators come pop back in here. It's the best.
Awesome.
I love seeing that.
Yeah.
And let me present right now so we can go and check out your oh no, where's one? There we go. Some of your images here, which I think are fantastic. Let's see. Go down here and make us teeny tiny. There we go. I think these are so pretty.
Yeah.
I really love the artwork. And I think the colorist really did justice, and like, because he does this like really cool like lines.
Yeah.
And I think the way that it's colored really helps stand that artwork out as well. Like, it really just pops. I think it's gorgeous. I think the story is really cool too. I dig all of everything I see for Time Sensitive. It's really nice.
What I really like, just like these two panels are like a great example of the way that like George does this, the incredibly intricate line work for the shading. And then Kay Woolheiser, our colorist, who's this amazing Discovery indie artist out of Oregon, she comes in and then just adds this smoothness to it, and this incredible just dance of light across their face that works with his, you know, with his shading in a, like a really interesting complementary way.
Yes, there's something like glowy about it too, which I'm very much a fan of. I like that kind of look, but yeah, just like sunsetty this going on there, and I love it. It's so pretty. It really works together, and I love seeing that. And here's some of the concept art, which I really like too, because I like the characters that are in here. They have just such character. I love to see where it's going with her too, because I want to know more about her story. And I'm like,
Tallulah is so badass. She is this like you know, street kid from the future who,
funky,
you know, totally is like, you know, desperate and angry, and also has no idea what the fuck she's doing. She's like both the hero, you know, the sidekick, and totally lost.
Yeah. And I like that she's lost, but also trying to educate the main guy kind of what's happening, but she doesn't exactly know that he's like even more lost as well. He's like, I don't get what's happening. It's a good dynamic.
Awesome.
Tate,
Awesome.
I like Tate says she is hot. Yeah, she's a good character.
Agreed.
I'm big fan. I love it. And here you can see some of the pencils in the inks, which I love so much. There's so much detail that's happening in each one of these panels, especially like the cityscapes. The
Yeah.
cityscapes to me are some of my favorite artwork in here, but I think it looks so good. Let me see if I can zoom back out so you can just see this right here. But look, it's just really gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, his faces too. I mean, he gets so much emotion across from just
Yes,
choice of line.
really good. It's very clear as well. But this is what I'm talking about here. This is one of my
Yeah.
favorite pieces that I've seen in the group of photos that I have in here. It is just the way that their hashing is going on,
Yeah.
and like the line work. Like I said, it's just really just these cool like layers of lines in here, and I think it's fabulous, and everything looks just so
So
pretty.
I can tell you that he spent like a week on this frame. I remember like when he wrote to me, like, you know, it had been a week since we spoke, and he said, I have to apologize. Not only have I not gotten pages done, I haven't even gotten the page that I was on when we talked last done. Like I just fell into this rabbit hole of this one panel, and it took my entire week.
Oh, so worth it. Listen, I love when you kind of give like artists like a free range to do whatever, but it fits the story so well. And
Yeah.
I love that there's no like limitations that they can put on them because you really just want them their art to shine. And this to me just speaks to me that the artist is shining. Love it.
I
So
think,
good.
what do you think of releasing this one as a black and white print with the Kickstarter?
Oh, that would be cool too. I That's another question. So you have the ash can. Are you also going to be putting the ash can, the black and white ash can, available for purchase?
I have 20 left. I printed 100 and been taking them
Okay.
to cons in Brooklyn, which is
Hmm.
close to where I am. And I've got 20 left, and I'm going to save them and put them up on the Kickstarter. And that's the
Nice.
only the 100 that will ever be printed, each signed.
Okay.
So the black and whites are beautiful. So if you want one, ping me ahead of time to reserve.
Oh, lovely. I like that a lot. But yeah, I think this would look really cool as like a print or something. I just love the artwork in this. I love this. And what's Tate
Absolutely.
saying?
All right, Tate's joke was really funny.
It's not time sensitive. Oh, wait, it is time sensitive. My bad.
That's the thing about like a first issue, right? Like you're not in a rush. Like no
Yeah.
one's waiting for the next issue yet. So, and it's also so much about finding the visual vocabulary and
Mm,
finding, you know, the color palette. And, you know,
yes.
there was a lot of back and forth. I mean, the art for this book, we've been working on this for like over 6 months, like 7 or 8 months on this
Yeah.
one issue. And which is fine. Like I'm like, take your time, make it
Yeah.
good, with a lot of back and forth, and me really learning how to give notes to artists,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
and I knew a lot more. Like I could be much more directive with George because I've directed film, and I understand what the panel needs to be. But when it came to color, suddenly I was lost. Like I did not know how to give the right kind of direction to Kay. And there was a lot of like back and forth of like what with her just not going the wrong direction, with me just not understanding how to explain the vision. And I really needed George actually to kind of teach me, like, these are the words you're looking for. What you're looking for is saturation. What you're looking for is contrast. If you use these words, the colorist will understand what you mean. um,
Hmm.
and that was like, and then once I started using the right vocabulary, it started like really coming to life. And and I was like, yes, now you're there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, even Tate saying it would make an incredible print. Yeah, I think so. I think it's fabulous. I love that you could just one of the reasons why I like digital stuff too is, listen, you get older, you can't see anything. But I love that you can zoom in and just look at these incredible details and the line work. That
Yeah.
to me, like as an artist myself and as somebody that wanted trying to get back into it, that just being able to do that, just to see where people start and like where it comes from, that to me is some of my favorite. Especially if you could see like where they have like the preliminary sketches, you can see either the blue lines or the pencils underneath. That
Yeah.
to me is gold. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. If you guys, just so you know, anyone watching this, come join the Discord for Strangeland, and
Oh,
I've
cool.
got a lot of process on there, a lot of
Nice.
pencil sketches and behind the scenes and how this was made. But
Oh,
I'm
cool.
totally with you about zooming in.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do when I get new comics is I put on my VR goggles and I blow it up to like IMAX size, and I get to zoom in and I'm in there, and that is so good.
I
So
love it. That's fun. Yeah, let me know what the link to the Discord is, and I'll put that in the description down below so people can go and join that. But as you can see here,
mhm,
from where we had the line work before to where you have the colorized version, I think it fits so well with the artwork.
mhm,
And I think that it's colored in a way where it's letting the underlying lines shine through.
mhm.
And that to me is extremely important when it comes to comics, because sometimes you kind of get a little bit of an ego from some people where they kind of try to show off more. But I think people, when you work together, writer, pencil, colorist, inker, when they work together, your book will really shine more.
Yeah,
You kind of got to let those egos go and kind of work together as a team. So to me, I love to see that. So it's very exciting
yeah.
what I see.
This whole scene is very subtle, and it really is like, the opening page, starts like bright Los Angeles sunlight, and then you go into this
Yeah.
scary room, and the only light is now this like yellow light coming in from outside, and otherwise it's just dim.
Yes.
Uh,
It's very pretty. Very good. The shadow work, the shadow and light work,
yeah,
there's something in there that just really makes it pop, and I think it's very cool. And the story to me, I think, is just very interesting because I think you could go so many different routes with this just based on the potential that's having and based on what the themes are. I know we're showing off more of the artwork, but definitely want to delve more into the story in a little bit. But man,
yeah.
this
Should I
is just some good. Yeah, want me to just leave the panel up here? We can just talk about it a little bit more.
should I pitch the story so people know
Yes.
what it is?
Yeah. Hmm.
All right, so the quick high level pitch. It's about a guy, an LA detective named Caleb Stone, whose wife disappears suddenly at a gas station in LA. And when he goes looking for her, everyone says he was never married, that the woman he remembers waking up with this morning has been dead for 5 years. And the only person who believes him is this mysterious teenage girl who shows up and says, basically, I know why your wife was deleted.
Ooh,
So it's got
fun.
a juicy mystery hook and
Very good mystery. Yes. Oh,
sucks you into a whole world.
God, the faces to me are just so expressive, and that's some of my favorite thing when you read a comic. And not even zooming in on this, just take a gander at all of the glowiness, like that sunsetty richness that you got coming in from the colors. But that Los Angeles panel, it's so cool when you actually zoom in on here and look at this. It's phenomenal.
Mm.
It's very lovely. And I was reading this and I giggled on this page just because I read out each one of the wee woos.
That's great.
And I love it, the black and white, like all the wee woo and like the action stuff is like in color. So you have that popping.
That's awesome.
But I love that. I'm such a huge fan of like the old school, like the Bam Kapow, like all those action things. But I love it when they're like actually like part of the artwork. And I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh
Tate is
hate to
calling
see it.
out that they saw a
Yes.
text there. Okay, so give me your call on this, because I purposely had him text just
Mhm.
wrong. Do you want to go back to that in that page?
Which part on this page here? Which panel was it?
The
Because
page.
I also spotted an error one time when I was reading it. There was two double
So right
U's.
here, he
Yes.
says, or the wife says, just don't get shot. But I had him misspell just because they're like texting really quickly.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I like that in there. Like you're like kind of fast typing and like you didn't know what to do. That's happening in there. And like, listen, I am huge on. I'm very much fluent in typo myself. But I think that's hilarious that you threw those in there.
So,
Like, oh,
but should I
yeah.
keep it, or does it look, or is it going to jump out to people as an error like it did to Tate? That's
Okay.
the question. Okay.
Interesting. That is a good question. No, people that are watching this,
Yeah.
comment below or in chat, let us know. Do you think that's fun? Because the high intense situation that right now, like they're texting and they're getting that out there. And I do see the difference too. Like the way that your letter has changed up the fonts here. So that way you know it's kind of a text message. It's
Mhm.
going in with the blue phone.
Yep.
So that you can tell there where it's like this and it's not actually in scene kind of thing. But I think that's kind of interesting. I like that. I like that it's giving them more of like a humanized moment there
But then I
as
guess the
well. But I
question
think that's
is,
fun.
does
Hmm.
does our does our autocorrect, would our autocorrect catch that? Like, do we even misspell in
Mm.
text anymore?
I kind of like it because it gives you more of like a gritty, like in the now kind of feel to it, which I
Yeah.
kind of really enjoy that. I think it's interesting
Okay.
that it's in there. It's not just like perfect English.
Uh-huh.
And I like it when things have character. So I think it's cool. And Tate's saying, yeah, okay, cool. Just want to make sure it's a great idea. I think it's something
Okay.
interesting.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
yeah, you're in this heated thing here, and people are rushing in, but you're also trying to respond to your wife.
Totally.
You kind of got to do that. I think that's kind of cool. I
Okay.
like that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm down for this. I think this is fun. But yeah, good stuff. Oh, dude, I like the way that the shadows were just etched in there. That's cool.
So funny. I
That's
remember
so
I had a
cool.
big argument with George about this panel where he's coming in the
Yeah.
tiny window. And I was like, it's so small. Like, I don't know. I was like,
He's so
there's so
fun.
much wasted space in that panel. You could be doing so much more with it. And he was just like, negative space, my friend, negative space on.
Negative space.
And I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's true. Look at that. That's so funny that he's trying to just like stuff himself with a little tiny window. I love it. It's so much character at that point. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, I don't know. He's huge.
Oh
How's he gonna get through that?
no, his arm fits though. That's all that matters. He's just checking it. I heard, but I
He's
like
just sticking the gun
this is hilarious. I like it. Just may get people pointing it out as long as you don't get annoyed.
like that you misspelled just. I'm going to get so annoyed. So many people are going to point that out to me. You're going to be like, no, it's on purpose.
I like that. That's fun. I think it's fun. I think it just gives it more character. Let me go all the way back to the first panel here so we can look at. So here we go. What we were talking about earlier, where this is him and his wife here.
Mm-hmm.
Just little intimate moments. I like that they're having little intimate moments before chaos happens. But it's so cute. They're adorable together, and that's what I think that's really important too for the setting of this because you
Yeah.
get to see how close they were, and then the whole mystery that's be happening after this it completely makes sense afterwards. And here's the little spunky futuristic lady here that's kind of mentoring him on this craziness of this
Badly,
mystery.
badly mentoring him,
Badly mentoring him, yes.
failing to mentor him.
Oh, that's funny. The eyes need space to rest. Yes, you're correct.
Negative
Get into
space.
those little details. Yeah.
Right. And that panel next to it is so crammed full of information. So yeah, he probably looked at that and said, okay, balance.
Yeah, let me get back to that panel. I
Yeah.
hear. But yeah, I like this. I like that it goes from bloop and then down here, just quiet moment, then all
Yeah.
the moments happening. It looks good.
Yeah. All right. You've convinced
Yeah.
me.
Oh, thanks for yes, thank you. So yes, it is in pre-launch right now. So if you click on the link right here, let me drop it one more time. Um, doop, 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 where is it? This one right here. It
Mhm.
has even more info. It has even more like you and all the other people that are on your team, everything you do about yourself on here. There's also a link that you can drop your email in and get notified of all kinds of further updates. So go ahead and click on
Not
this
just
one.
that. So drop your email. You'll get notified when we're launching, but it'll also take you to a page where you can drop $1 to reserve your copy. And if you
Ooh,
do, you get a free art print from George that
oh,
is
cool.
just beautiful when the
It's
Kickstarter
lovely.
launches. It also gives you access to the Discord, which has a couple hundred people on it now, amazingly.
Nice.
And where I have lots of behind the scenes and kind of posting like peaks of everything, the process as it happens throughout
Oh,
the
that's fun.
yeah, it's really
I like
cool.
that. I like seeing people get really involved in like a project, and that's to me is one of my favorite things. Seeing somebody like start at the pre-launch and then getting it funded, but everybody rallying together to get it funded. I'm a huge fan of seeing that kind of thing, and I very
And
much like that.
you're a big supporter of indie comics. I mean, that's kind of your bag,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, yeah,
Really
I have probably three piles right there of campaigns that just came in.
nice. All stuff you have to read.
All stuff I have to read. Yeah, it's just sitting over there for a hot minute. We'll get back to it eventually. Yeah, I kind of on break right now because I kind of super backed way too many things over the last two
Can you
years.
see my incredible comic book rack back
Wait,
there?
hold on. Let me make you big for a second. Yes, I saw that before, but yes, is that
So this is all like my current comics that I have to read. That's where they migrate. When they come in, they go on my comic rack, and as I read them, they go onto my shelves or they get stacked in the basement. And that rack is never empty. Like it's unending. My comic collection.
yes. From going to cons and then finding random weird stuff to like just getting campaigns in, because a lot of times you back these and you won't get them for like a year later, then you forget about them and you get them in and you're like, what is that? And you're like, oh, I forgot about I even did this. But yeah, I think that's fun.
Exactly.
Oh, what's up, Marina?
I just backed God, what's his name? Oh shoot. The book is called A Star Called the Sun by crap. The artist who created Preacher, among other things. Why am I forgetting his name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's I can
Um,
picture it. I can picture the name.
I know. Oh, it's making me crazy. Not Preacher, not Preacher. Oh
Not
my God, I'm
preacher.
not even getting that right.
Uh
Um,
Subject.
okay, now just I gotta call just because it would be terrible of me to bring him up and not say his name. Let me just give me 2 seconds to call it up. Um,
I want to look at this campaign too. I'm very interested in just the title alone. Sounds interesting.
Simon Roy. Simon Roy is one of the most amazing artists I've ever seen. So he just did a campaign for this new book. Um, and when it showed up with PDFs of like everything he's ever done. And
Ooh,
I'm like,
nice.
so exciting. I do not remember paying for this, but it's like a dozen like PDFs of these epic books that I've wanted to read forever.
Oh,
And now I'm like, I this is like going to be like the next month, just to catch up.
oh,
But check out Simon Roy's a Star Called the Sun, because it's beautiful, beautiful
yes.
work.
Ooh, that sounds really cool. But yeah, I'm also a fan of campaigns that will do that, or they do like a stretch goal. And they go,
Yeah.
so many backers, you get like a hunk of like indie comics to read. I think that is such a good way for other people that may not even know about these books to get it in their hands because you're just getting the PDFs anyways. And I think that's so important for people to actually read books. And I've
Yep.
gotten so many interesting stuff on PDF from
Mhm.
campaigns like those stretch on things. I've gone and backed later on versions, or I've gone, this is amazing and I want to have you on my show. Come on my show so we can talk about this. But I think it's such a good way to find new creators that you weren't really even remotely looking at before. Yes.
And the other thing too is like once you're live, there's like all of these like what do you call it? Like commensurate backing, where all of
Yes.
the artists who have comics live now are all like sending out emails to each other's supporters, and like you can
Yeah.
really like pimping for like people you love. Like you've got to look at this, is the best.
Pimping for people you love.
Yes, My Life in Hollywood by Joshua Rubin.
Well, that's fantastic. I love that.
So
I
this
see
is
we're getting more people popping in here. Let me just plop
great.
that back on here one more time. We can go through this again.
So one of the things that I'm doing for rewards for our Kickstarter
Mhm.
is I'm kind of digging into my archives from my video game career as well.
Ooh.
So before I did comics, I think I wrote video games like Assassin's Creed 2 and Destiny and Walking Dead for Telltale and Game of Thrones for Telltale, Outriders. I've been doing this for a while, and so I really wanted to like give people who come from the video game world something to come for. And so I'm going to be one of the things I'm going to be giving away is or selling is PDFs of the original script for Assassin's Creed 2.
Ooh.
Um, and a number of others. I haven't decided which ones yet, but with each issue, I'm going to release like a few different, like really rare finds, deep digs from the video game archive, and released signed versions of it that you can get.
Yes, holy moly, I played most of those games. Thank you, Joshua. Yeah, listen, I know a ton of people that love those games. They're fantastic. I think we have all loved all of them over the
Also,
years. So yes, thank you for writing those. It's fantastic.
I mean, I really feel like, I keep saying, you know, what my sales pitch, right? If you liked Ezio and you liked Clementine, I think you'll like Caleb and Tallulah. It's
I
kind of,
think so.
yeah.
Because it's got some really good action stuff in it too. And then you're also kind of wondering what, because they're running around or they run into like some bad guys and you're like, what is happening with these bad guys? But I like the sci-fi element that's in here. It's like
Yeah.
very much sci-fi thriller mystery
Yep.
action, which I dig and I like it. But because of those sci-fi elements, you could do some really interesting things coming up on future issues. And
Mhm.
I'm very excited to see what you guys got going on with that because this is kind of like first issue, like oh my gosh, the latte is hitting me. Introducing all the characters and things in here. Cheers, there you go. But yes, it's very cool. I dig it a lot. Still favorite
George
panel.
George is working on issue 2 right now,
Ooh, okay.
as I write issue 3, and it's so much fun to see his work on issue 2 because issue 1 is it's very much about character. It's very much about kind of, you know, pulling you into these characters' lives, who are
Yeah.
they, and then putting them into these intense situations and this mystery of what the hell is going on. Issue 2 is really about world building. It's really where we
Ooh.
start jumping into, okay, well, what can you do with this new sci-fi premise that we've introduced, that I don't want to spoil too much, but I'll just say is a take on time travel that I've never seen before. And
Oh.
it's exciting. And so seeing what George does with it as he actually starts getting to create worlds is, you know, that
Nice.
are not our world is thrilling.
That's fun to me because even if you go like even if you're gonna do like let's say in a sci-fi thing. Sci-fi is amazing because you can really push creative things in a sci-fi thing because it's sci-fi. It's not the real world. You can do whatever you want with it. Time limits do not exist. Worlds do not exist because you can do whatever you want. It is very, very much fun. And I love all of that.
But
And
also, I mean, great sci-fi is about creative constraints, right? It really
yeah.
is about you create a set of rules and then you stick to those rules. And
Mhm.
especially time travel, everybody who does time travel has their own variation on time travel and what the rules
Yes.
are. Are you Back to the Future, where, you know, you change something in the past and it changes the future, right? Or,
Yeah.
every
Dire consequences, etc. Yeah, everybody has a little bit something different happening in here. And I like that you did mention Back to the Future because I saw some of the variant covers that you have as well.
I do have a
It's
Back
very lovely.
cover. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yes. I'll actually go to the time sensitive page, the landing page that we have, and we'll go over that as well. But
That's
I
good.
just want to highlight these real quick. And you can't wait for the memoir, Pimping for People I Love. Exactly. And I love Sheldon coming out here. That's a latte
Oh
information to
my
take
God,
in.
love it.
Correct.
Cracking some of you guys. That's very generous.
Yeah. This here is your regular cover too. Once again, the coloring so well done, so
So good.
beautiful. I really love that. And let me go to the actual page here, which is
On the
this guy.
Discord and actually on Instagram on all the socials, I did a whole breakdown of the making of the cover,
Ooh,
showing all of the variations on it that kind of led to this one. Starting with an original sketch that was actually for a variant cover from these amazing Uruguayan artists that I hired. And this one was like so good a concept. I was like, can I steal this for George? And George was like all in and he did it. And then like the first version he did, it was like a romance novel. And I had to
ooh,
it was like I wrote this like incredibly had this anxious night like writing this like email being like, I don't think this is it. Like you've got the romance, but you need the sci-fi. If you don't have the sci-fi, it's not balanced. This only says romance novel, and we need to see the future and the bad guys. And so he came
yes,
back and did this entire other version that kept the couple exactly as they had been in the two time periods as it had been, but then found this new color palette that was so intense. And even the palm trees, he even redid the palm trees to have the wind blowing them intensely.
Ooh.
That level of detail is just incredible.
I think it's really cool too because you can literally see like the time like glitch happening just based on the way that the panels are. Like he's there, she's there, but then you have that second worldy part where like something else is completely happening, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it was an amazing concept.
Yes. Yes. More people are coming here. What's up? What's up, guys? Also, welcome to the Non-Heroes Con party. That's right. Welcome on in.
Oh, Michael,
I
thank
like.
you for backing. That's awesome.
Oh wait. Oh, I missed that. I blah blah blah. Yes. Yes. Come on in, guys. And I like that you're doing this in a hardcover too. I have especially run out of room in my life. But I am very much a fan of picking up hardcover editions or something that comes in, you know, those cases that you can put like a series in. You
Yep.
can put them on your shelf because, well, first of all, you could display them better. And also, I don't have to move 4,000 pounds of boxes to find one issue of a book that I'm trying to look for. So, yes.
Yeah, they get lost. I mean, I love floppies. I love, the
Yeah.
pencil, the staple floppies. But for like a
Yeah.
good first issue, like I want to have a deluxe edition. I mean,
Nice.
even like, you can see like the quality of the printing
Oh, wait,
just
hold on.
on the
Let me
ash
make let me
can.
make you the big for a second. There you go. Ooh, yeah.
So, the ash can. Here's my Strangeland logo. It's
Yeah,
pretty
that looks
cool.
cool. I think it looks cool. Yeah.
But so this is the black and white ash can that we put out just for the Comic Cons, and it's really cool. But we are going to do a hardcover like deluxe edition that has like all of this extra material in the back and a lot
Yes.
of behind the scenes. So
Huge fan of that. Let me
yeah,
see.
I am too. I am too.
Huge fan. I love that. I love it too when you do like pencils, inks, final things, and they show that off because to me that's fun. Or you just like little thumbnails, like where it started, some little itty bitty thing, and then you have the whole finalized version.
So
That to me is
we're
fascinating.
so you're going to love this. Another really cool thing that we're putting out on the Kickstarter. So George, when he works, he binds a book about this size. You see, and so it's just like he works for his thumbnails in a bound book. So he sees the pages about this size, and he just works in pencil and and creates this like really really rough but really beautiful fully bound book. He creates his own little cover for it, and then he goes in and he inks it, and he inks it like professionally, like it's so crisp and beautiful.
Yeah.
And then he takes that and he blows it up like this big, that ink, and then that ink of the original pencil is what he works off and starts again drawing over that, and draws, goes into the incredible refined detail, but the layout is fully done. So one of the things we're going to release is like
Yeah.
a actual print of his pencils of the original book at
So
the
cool.
size that he did them. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
That kind of behind the scenes stuff is absolutely fascinating to me. I had Motor City. I had a very lovely chat with Alex Saviuk, and he used to do the Spider-Man strips in the paper.
Okay.
I don't think people realize how giant those strips are.
Really?
They were okay. So he had a couple on his table, and they were bigger than 11 by 17. It's
Interesting.
amazing to me how you get that 11 by 17 into a tiny little thing. But also, I see a lot of guys when they do comics, like you were saying, they do it very, very thumbnail, and then they scare that and then blow it up and make it big. It's so interesting to me when you get to see how like different things get put into like a project, and it's like I would have never thought that in a million years. And he was like, "Yeah, there's even some even like larger than this table that we were using for this little itty bitty panel," and like that to me is just
Yeah, because
utterly fascinating.
I remember just like the level of detail that you would see in those comic strips was
Yeah,
yeah. But this one's
so good.
interesting. Like the idea that it starts this size, then it becomes giant, right?
Yeah,
And then he draws over that and then shrinks it back down again to about half the
right.
size.
So cool. I'm digging that. But yeah, that ash can looks amazing. And I like what Tate's saying here. He says, the color reminds me of one of your favorite video games, Flashback.
Oh, I don't know
Nice.
that game.
Interesting. I gotta look that up. I don't think I know that game either, but this is very cool. Very much interesting. So if you come on here, you can plop your email address in here, get signed up for the launch. You also said you can reserve one for $1. and you get access to the Discord as well. Very cool.
And actually, an incredible print, an art print by
That's
George
right.
that you can only get by reserving your book for $1 ahead before we launch.
Nice. And I've actually taken advantage of that in a couple other campaigns because I've gotten like the pre-launch stuff sent to you in an email, and then you sign up for it and just reserve it for $1, and then you can go in and figure that out later on, which I think is very cool too. Because I already know if I'm gonna be backing something that I very strongly want to back, I will go ahead and reserve my copy, because then the dollar just goes to whatever else you're gonna be putting on there, which very cool. I dig that a lot.
And it helps us so much, like before we're launching, like to know, like we have enough launch, we have enough interest. Like it's like behind the scenes Kickstarter, like it's super important.
Yes.
Actually, scroll back up again, because this is like the coolest thing that has happened yet with this comic is that Dave Goyer, the writer of The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Blade, Foundation, the TV show, like some of my favorite movies, actually read it and like said like incredibly nice things about it. Like the fact that I've got a blurb from Dave Goyer kind of blows my mind.
Oh, that's lovely. Yes. Josh Weiss as well. Yeah, he's got some cool stuff in here happening. But no, that is awesome. I love it when people get that happening, or somebody that you respect goes and read your stuff and they're just like kind of like mind blown about what's happening. I think that is amazing.
And that
cool.
That totally came from like a cold email too. Like the fact that I was able to get hold of his email and, you know, and like I sent a bunch of cold emails to like way above, you know, no one who responded. So
that's
the fact
funny.
that he did too, mensch.
That's awesome. I love that. Yes, more people pop in here. Love that. No, this is very cool. I dig this a lot. Once again, I think the art style plus the way that it is colored is just super lovely. I love the writing in it is very cool. That just everything that I've read so far, I'm very much a fan of, and I like it.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna open this.
It's so funny, like all the talk about like all of the extras and things, you know, and the hardcover, like all the extra things wouldn't matter if the book wasn't good. But I really like, I think the book is good. Like I think people are responding to it, and yeah, it's a fun read.
I'm also very intrigued too, because you can see on kind of like this right here. I also like you kind of incorporate like music a little bit in here. Yes, and I think that's kind of interesting how that's kind of affecting some things, which I think is really neat. Yeah, I dig that.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that this bit of music is fading out is something that will make more sense when you read it.
Yeah. Very cool color palette. I really like it. I dig this art style. There's just something about it that's really unique and quite lovely. And I very much want to see more of it, especially colored. I think it's going to look really fantastic. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
So much of like putting a, you know, artist together for a project, it's so much like putting a band together. Right? Like it really is like trying to find, are you going to be lucky enough that your bass and your guitar sound good together? Like, because you're kind of you're hiring based on, you know, past work, and you're hiring on a lot of hope. And you know, you can have people who have incredible work separately and don't gel together.
Yeah. And I like that you're throwing this in here. These are some of the past projects that gosh, you worked on. Very lovely. There's your lovely face. Look at this. I like that you're throwing that in here. But yeah, I think it's a really cool book. And I think that people are going to really like it. And I want to see more about it. So, because I read the Ashcan, so how many pages is the actual campaign one going to be? The same amount of pages?
Same amount of pages in color, but it's 34 pages. And then the, you know, it'll have all of the back pages as well if you buy the
Yeah, because I think that it's for what you read in the story, it's jam-packed of like action and story and character development. I think it's really top-notch. So I'm very excited to see where you're going with it, because you said you are working on issue 2 right now. Do you know how many issues you want to do for this series?
The 6-issue series. So a 6-issue limited series will give you the full story. But it's also very much just ideally the prelude to a much larger world. We'll see how the series does, but it really does open up the end to, oh my God, I thought the story was about this, but it's so much bigger than I would have imagined. And that's what's fun. I love it when stories do that. And here's the variant cover is the Back to the Future one you mentioned.
Yes. I like that they're together and they were like looking at their watch, but she's probably also trying to explain something, but getting it completely wrong. I like that fire
Yes.
truck behind it.
He's like, why are we looking at our watches? I don't know.
She's like, just keep walking at them. Just keep looking. And this to me it was so gorgeous. This artwork is so pretty. I love the colors in this.
Yeah.
It's really lovely. Yes, I like it. It just screams like just
And you
cool.
and you see the figure at the bottom,
Yes.
hidden at the bottom, falling into the deep, the
Yeah.
existential drama,
Turmoil.
turmoil.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I like that it frames it going up like, oh, you've fallen to this depths of the abyss here, but these are like characters intertwined. It's very cool. I
It's
love this artwork.
and also, so these are these amazing Uruguayan artists, Delio Diaz and Frank Alpizar, who, God, I love their work. But they're so crisp and refined and so different
Yes.
than George's, which is so much more expressive.
Yeah.
What's amazing is how much they, especially like they got Caleb's shape and his face, they got Tallulah's face, like they did it in their style, but they really captured the feel of what George does.
Yes. It's like they kind of made it more a little bit realistic, but also the coloring choices that are on like the skin tones are just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. Let's see. Tate, I just saw Tate's coming. He has to run, but thank you for coming in here. So nice to meet you. Very excited for your book. Yes.
Hey, thank you
Thanks
for
for
all
popping
the
in here.
wonderful things you said. Please come join us on the Discord. We can keep chatting.
Yeah. Very cool. And you can do that by signing up, reserving your dollar exactly on there too. And this is interesting too. I like this. Who did this piece of art?
So this is Jonathan Baravecchia. He's a local artist, upstate New York, like me, who does all of this painted work. He just had a huge book come out for Image called Viking Bear Queen something. Viking Bear Queen. I forget the name. Crazy book. I
Never heard of it, but that sounds amazing.
fell in love with his work, like was just in awe of it. It's so detailed,
Mhm.
it's so painterly. And then it turned out he was local. I ran into him at a con and I like fanboyed all over him.
Nice.
And I ended up spending like a way too much money on a piece that he had done
Funny.
on an original painting. And then we're like, we've got to work together. And so he'd offered to do a cover for this, which, yes, thank you.
Yes. Ninja Bear Viking. Yes. I think he
Ninja
really
Bear Viking Queen.
Oh, ooh, you
Yeah.
can't forget the queen because that's even more majestic. What I like about this style is it fits the story so well. Like it's like he captured that like confusing uh just time frame, but also like this weird like glitching, like time alteration kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
it's a piece of artwork, which was just really neat.
That's exactly what he was going for. He was like, I have a concept, show Caleb in like multiple time periods at once and like getting torn in between.
Mhm.
And then Jonathan Baravecchia and I are already working on a book together. Another book, which is a kind of like it's the true story of St. George and the Dragon.
I love that story.
So it's historical, but it's also sci-fi. The dragon,
Yes.
just a dragon.
Such
And
a classic tale.
yeah. And his work is perfect for it, for like swords and sandals and monsters.
Nice. And here again, once again, is some of the ink work that you have from George here, which I very much love the black and whites too, but I think black and whites plus the colored version just fits so well, and I'm really a huge fan. Very nice.
Actually, scroll back up a bit to the one above this, the logo for Strangeland. Like I want to talk about that a second. So this is by an Italian artist, a young guy I found named Leonardo Romanelli. His work is incredible. And what's so amazing about him is that he never puts pencil down. He starts with ink. He just like commits instantly and just moves forward in ink. And like the boldness of his work is what really sold me. Like it looks like somewhere between like a wood print and a photograph.
Yes. Like a really good screen printed shirt, or like one of those like, well, it's linograph now where you cut it out and it do the screen printing and stuff, but
Totally.
very cool. The artwork also a little bit, when you look at it real quick, kind of reminds you of like some of Gerald's work.
Oh, Gerald, yeah, who brought us together,
Yes.
Stoddard.
Yes.
His work, yeah, he's got a book up on Kickstarter right now that you should totally support.
Yeah. It's
A
an
lot.
art book.
It's an art book, yeah. He also is a neighbor. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not
Incredibly,
notice. Yeah. Okay.
we I was a fan of his, and then he also showed up at a local con in upstate New York in Kingston, and I was like,
That's
"Oh my
so
god, I'm such a
funny.
fan of your work." And we started connecting. We're both the same
Yeah.
age. We started, bald guys with
Oh,
great
he's
hair,
awesome. I
and
adore Gerald.
it turns out
It,
he lives like
it's funny.
10 minutes from me. It's crazy.
Oh, so the first time I had him on, Tate was in the audience.
Yeah.
He lived down the street from Tate, so they're Santa Cruz bros.
Wait,
And that's hilarious. So yeah, way back in the day, Tate in the chat. That's where, yeah. So no, that was hilarious. So every time he comes in there, they're like, "Oh, bro," 'Cause they had some of the same like punk videos or whatever that they would go to. And I was like, yeah, they bonded over that, which is
amazing,
hilarious.
amazing.
Uh, yes, Jay, it's like swords and sandals is your new favorite genre. Yeah,
With
gotta
monsters.
have that. Yeah,
Yeah.
with monsters, you can't forget the monsters. And I also like that the book coming out of here with the tentacles and the space. So, yeah, it's really neat, really good stuff.
Actually, would you go to juststrangelandcomics.com? You can. Oh,
Yes.
no, actually, I was going to show
Oh,
you something that's not there. Never mind.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I have, once this issue is out, I'll go back to the original image that Leonardo did, which is a full page image that kind of this
Ooh.
this kind of Cthulhu book tentacles things was inspired by. But
Oh,
it kind
nice.
of goes on and on with like all these different characters, time travelers and fairies and rocket ships and monsters, and
All the
yeah,
best stuff.
coming out of a book. It's great.
All the great things that people love. You can't go wrong with any of that
What
stuff.
more do we need?
Yes, very nice. And yeah, no, I love the lettering. I love the artwork, the line work, so good. Story is really unique. I dig it, and I really can't wait to see what you guys are gonna be doing this series because I think it is really, really cool. I like it.
Thank you so
Very
much.
much a fan. Yeah.
Yay.
Woo!
You are so good at supporting indie comics. I so
Oh,
appreciate
thank you.
the work that you
I
do. And it's a
think I
total
found my calling.
great. We need people like you. So
Oh,
it's a
thank
total
you.
honor to get to come on here and talk with you.
Oh, thanks. I adore everybody. Everyone's welcome on here. If I could find some slots for everybody, I would have everybody on. It's just impossible. I
Oh,
don't have enough days.
and this month.
But yeah, I love it. Yes, fantasy, supernatural, sci-fi. Listen, I got really big back around, I don't know, like 20 years ago into like the urban sci-fi stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just something interesting that has like all these elements like kind of thrown together, and I'm very much digging all that kind of stuff. I think it's fun.
I love
So it's very
that
refreshing too. Yeah,
together.
I know. Let's
Totally.
see.
So
That's good stuff.
if this book is successful, this is kind of
Yeah,
my foray into this, into this new medium,
yeah.
into comic books. And my wife calls it my midlife crisis. Starting a new business. I'm like, well, it's a lot cheaper than a Ferrari putting out a comic. But I have
Well, it depends.
depends on the Ferrari. But I have, this whole lineup of like a dozen different sci-fi, fantasy,
Nice.
supernatural worlds that I have been
Very
like
cool.
developing for decades, and
Awesome.
lining up with these incredible artists. And
Yeah.
I'm really hoping Strangeland is going to be the beginning of a lot of exciting new IP. I'm
I
actually
think
going
so.
to be at San Diego Comic-Con
Yes.
at the end
Woo.
and the next month on a panel called Ink and Code, which is going to be a whole bunch of really cool writers who do both video games and comics. And
Oh, nice.
really cool. We have Evan Narcisse, who's writing Captain America and Black Panther, and also wrote the Insomniac Miles Morales game.
Ooh, okay.
He's super cool. Josh Trujillo, who I think he's writing Aquaman for DC, and he did Guardians of the Galaxy for Telltale. And I forget who else we have. But it's going to be a really cool panel. Super exciting. So if you're in San Diego, definitely come check it out. I think it's on Saturday around 5 o'clock.
Ooh, lovely. I know a lot of people that go to San Diego. Very much excited to start. I want to do way more outside cons. Like I started doing cons in Baltimore way back in the day. Now I'm doing cons over here, but yeah, I've been to some in Ohio. But yeah, I definitely want to hit Heroes Up. I would love to do like New York, San Diego, and a couple of the big ones. Just experience like one time. I think one time would be enough. It
Never,
seems like too much chaos at one time.
have you never
But
been
yeah,
to New York Con? It's a
I've
lot.
never been to New York, no, but I have a lot of friends that go there, and I have a lot of friends, a couple friends that do like the CGC witnessing
Mhm.
that do it over in the New York con. So
What do they do? Witnessing?
yeah, the CGC witnessing.
What is
So
that?
like so like if you want a book that's witnessed by CGC, so you could get a label, you have to
Oh,
go to the CGC guys to get a dude to follow you to the guy. They witness them signing it, and they take it back to CGC. You get a label.
that sounds weirdly supernatural. The witness. You have to do the witnessing.
It
You have to
does,
see it
yeah.
live. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really funny.
they're usually running around. I think it's a red or blue shirt. I don't know. So if you ever see a guy in a red or blue shirt just chilling there next to like some dude getting some side, you're like, aha, I know what's going on. Yeah, but
Um, I am. I've applied for a table at New York Comic Con, and
okay,
if we get it, then one of the what do you call it? The perks or the tiers on Kickstarter, like
yeah.
if we get enough, is going to be all about flying George in from Portugal.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. He would have fun with that, I think, especially. I love it when, because I know a lot of artists, let's say Greece. I know a lot of them in Asia, Brazil. There's a ton of artists coming out of Brazil. Italy's got a bunch coming out happening right now, and I love it when they come here. And I'm like, come, let's go, bring you guys over here because they are some phenomenal artists out there, and I very much love that. Yes, good luck and congrats. Yes, okay, so you are in pre-launch right now. Do you
Mhm.
know when you're going to be launching? Do you have like a date yet?
We're getting close. The colors just got finished. We're figuring out production, trying to
Okay.
get as many of those kind of pre-launch reservations as we can,
Yeah.
so we can launch with a boom. And and if we do that, then the Kickstarter algorithm comes in.
Yeah.
So anyone listening to this, if you can reserve, that definitely helps. But late July, early August is what we're aiming for.
Okay. That'll be here right before we know it. Let me tell you, it's almost the end of June right now, which I don't even know how that has happened.
No
It
idea.
don't even know. Listen, I think I
2025
no clue.
too. I just looked. It's crazy.
To me, my brain is still registering Monday of 2020. Like I don't know, like
I'd say 2019, like,
yeah, somewhere
so
right there. Like just from that to like today, I don't know where any of it went.
the pandemic screwed it, like the
None.
timelines up, like something was not
Yeah.
supposed to happen there, and we're in
Glitch in
another
the
timeline.
matrix, if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very much like we get to one point and then we get sucked back, and then we just feels like a lot of that happening.
there's like
Uh,
this flashback of memory now of like, wait, was that where were we in the pandemic?
but
It's
you're
because
like,
none of it all happened
yeah,
in an alternate timeline, and we're getting these memories of these other timelines.
yeah. That's yes, yeah. Listen, 30 years ago was the 70s. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Thank you very much. Right? Right? Yeah, I feel like there was
No,
70 until about 2000, and then everything
yes,
after that was just like bzz, like this, like massive race, and I don't know. I have no
yeah.
idea. Yeah,
No clue. Nope. If you were to tell me, literally thinking back that 30 years ago was the 90s, I'd be like, you are lying, sir. He's not correct.
I still
But
can't
yeah,
figure out how my teenage kids didn't see the 90s.
yeah.
Like, wait,
I'm like,
you completely like you have no idea. Like I sat with my 14-year-old once, and I was like, so to you, everything before 2000 is the ancient past, and she's like, oh
oh
yeah, that's another
yeah.
century. That doesn't
They
exist.
they they call us the 1900s, and it's like, listen,
Yes.
you can calm down. We're not that old.
Ooh, we're in the roaring 20s.
Roaring 20s. I like that. That's hilarious. But yeah, anything from 2000 to today has just been like, can't comprehend it. Like, timelines, no.
It's a confusing
Awesome.
one. Yeah.
No, yeah. And this year, just what? It just flew by this year. Holy moly. I don't remember. I don't even remember Halloween of last year. It just kind of went
There's
today.
something there's something about getting older too, just like the way that things speed up. And
Yeah.
I remember having this moment of like, so I moved to New York from the West Coast just before the pandemic about 6 years ago. And I remember, so I've been experiencing winter for the first time in a very long time since I was,
Yeah.
and at first, like the novelty of it, like really like this is cool. And it seemed to go on forever. And then the next year, the novelty had worn off, and then it really went on forever. And then like the next year, like the dread of winter starting, but then it didn't last that long. Like I was like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
winter. And now I've gotten to this moment of like realizing like, oh, winter doesn't last that long. It's like a few months and then boom, it's summer again. And it, like the speed at which winter goes is like, oh, this is not so bad. I can do this. It races by. But
Yeah.
ancillary of that is that now summer also races by. You know that summer is not going to last. That summer is
Yes.
going to be gone like that, and then it's
In
winter,
an instant. Super
and then
flash. And this
and then you're dead.
this this is information I don't need to register in my brain. 50
Oh,
years ago tonight, Jaws was released. Are you kidding me?
wow.
Dang it.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
man. That
Yeah,
is
sorry to get
yikes.
existential on you guys.
That's
But it,
okay. Listen, this is perfect for your book. It's kind
I
of
mean,
exactly what it's about.
it is like the book is like it's tragic. It's a tragedy. I mean, it is, it is a book that is, it's a thrill ride, it's an adventure, it's funny, but at its core, it is existential. I mean,
Yeah.
the drama of that core mystery of like your wife disappears and everyone tells you you were never married. She's been
Mm,
dead for 5 years. Like, well, that fucks with your head so
so
much. And
much.
it's
Yeah.
scary setup. And that was when I came to that, that's when I knew I had a story. Like
Yeah.
that I had something, that was, would grab you, would grip you, make you feel, make you think, and set up well, I want to know what happens next.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Cran. Yes, you hit this right out on the head right there. Yes. Things you do in your life are important. Yeah, take care of those around you. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the important things in life. But
Hmm.
man, this has been a lot of fun. I've had so much fun talking to you. You can come back here anytime. It'd be
Yeah,
great.
this has been a total joy. Yeah, thank you for
Yes,
having
thank
me on,
you. Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah.
and let's do this again when the book
Oh,
launch
for sure.
starter.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, we could do that because that's what you said around August. Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
I know I have to book
Uh,
it now.
yes, exactly.
Mm.
So yes, if you guys are going to San Diego, definitely hit them up. Are you going to be at the booth is going to be under Strangeland or is it going to be under your name?
So I'm not gonna have a booth at
Oh,
San Diego. I'm
okay.
gonna
Oh
be on
yeah,
a
that's right. You're walking around. It's
yeah,
right.
panel.
Okay.
So come see the panel.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll have to just find me going, from booth to booth. I'll be the one with two
Getting
teenage
lost.
kids cosplay. Yeah, exactly. Trying to keep
Nice.
them, from disappearing in the crowd.
Yes, that's funny. Listen, it's the same thing. There's a lot of guys too that I'm like, they'll be panicking when we'll book something, and they'll
Mhm.
start panicking. They're like, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think the page looks right. I'm like, listen, just push it back a little bit more. If you get used to it, keep talking about it more. Build it up. Really get those pre-launch signups happening. You
Mhm.
don't need to plop it on here right this second. Just take your
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
Do it when you feel that you are ready to start talking about it.
Yeah,
Because let me tell you, the moment you go live, you're still working on the book. You're still doing promotion. You're going to be caught up in this little loop-de-doo thing of doing all this stuff that your mind's going to be all over the place. Take your time. Not a big deal. It's fine. Yeah,
yeah,
no
yeah,
problem whatsoever.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like it's time sensitive. But
Hi. Exactly. Tate, where are you at? Just in the nick of time. That's what you should put on your logos now.
I
Yes.
I will say embarrassedly that my character was originally named Nick because I thought it was funny.
Oh,
And then it
that's
wasn't
kind of
very long
hilarious.
before I realized how stupid that was. And
Oh, no, that's kind of funny.
mm,
But I don't know about you, but thank you very much for coming on here. I'm now melting. Went from cold and dying from freezing to molten hot now. But I'm gonna go get some food. Thank you very much for coming here. Thank you for everybody for sticking around with us. I know. Listen, We had like 40 some, almost 50 people watching us the entire time. I say that's a win because
Huge.
everyone's at Heroes Con right now. So
Incredible. Thank you
I
guys.
really,
Thank you for
yes,
coming out for
it's
this.
awesome.
For hearing
Yeah.
us just be goofballs.
Yeah, listen, that's what we're do here. We're not serious. We're straight up goofing. That's what we do.
Yay.
Always be goofing. That's right. Oh,
See
yeah.
you next
But
time.
we're gonna get out of here. And you know what? I don't have an outro, and everyone knows this. You might not know this. I hope
No.
you bought your spaz dancing shoes. That's how we get out of here. That's right. Yes, exactly.